Hello students, today we will be learning about solenoid and toroid. This is how a solenoid looks and this is how a toroid looks. The solenoid and toroid is an instrument which generates magnetic field. Both of them have a very high symmetry. Solenoid is used in televisions to generate magnetic field, and solenoid and toroid together generates magnetic field in an instrument called synchrotron. So since they have a very high symmetry, we will use Ampere-Circuital law and find out what is the magnetic field that is generated in both of them. To begin with, let us recall our right hand rule, thumb rule. We have already studied that if the current carrying conductor is imagined to be held in the right hand as shown in the diagram, then the thumb points the direction of the current and the fingers that are around the conductor gives the direction of magnetic field. We have to keep in mind about the thumb rule to derive the equation for magnetic field for both solenoid and toroid. Another thing you all have to remember is your Ampere-Circuital law. As we have told, Ampere-Circuital law states that the line integral of magnetic field over a closed loop is equal to mu naught times the current passing through the loop, and the equation is given as below. Let us see the definition of a solenoid. A solenoid consists of an insulating long wire closely wound in the form of a helix. Its length is very large as compared to its diameter or radius. Here, this is the diagram of a solenoid. A long wire is wound in the form of a helix. In this coil or in this solenoid, each turn is considered as one circular loop. So if I find out magnetic field for one loop, I can take the sum of all the loops and get a complete magnetic field for the complete solenoid. Let's see how generation of magnetic field takes place in a solenoid. We have a solenoid, we have a battery. When we connect the battery to the solenoid, current flows through the solenoid and there is magnetic field that is generated in the solenoid. So this magnetic field generated helps the solenoid behave like a bar magnet. This concept you will be learning in the next chapter. So here, important thing that you'll have to remember is when current flows through a solenoid, there is generation of magnetic field in the solenoid. Okay. This diagram represents a solenoid carrying current, and the blue lines that you all can see is the magnetic field that is generated when current is flowing through the solenoid. The next thing we have to do is derive the equation for magnetic field for a solenoid. To remember the convention rule for current flow, in the beginning of the chapter you all would have learned, if there is a dot, it represents current is flowing out of the plane of the paper. If there is into, the current will be flowing into the plane of the paper. So keeping this in mind, we will have the diagram here given in the form of an enlarged solenoid where you have 5 coils, okay, and current is represented by the thumb rule. You all can see the current flow. So current is flowing from point A and ending at point B. So if there is current flow in the direction given there, then the magnetic field will be along the axis of the solenoid. Here there are 2 points represented, point P and point Q. At point P, we can see that the field lines are very strong and uniform, and it is along the axis as I told before. And at point Q, as it forms loops, it starts becoming weaker as it goes away and away. So at Q, the magnetic field is weak, and as it goes above, we consider it as there is zero magnetic field. This is a cross section of a solenoid where dot represents the current coming out of the plane of the paper and into represents the current flowing into the plane of the paper. B is your magnetic field, and we will have small n as number of turns per unit length of the solenoid, and I will be the current that is flowing through the solenoid. We'll have to consider an Amperian loop A, B, C, D, and we will be applying the Amperian circuital law for this loop. And from the diagram you all can see AB is equal to L, which is also same as CD. The total number of turns in the length L is given as capital N, which is equal to N into L. That is, total number of turns in the solenoid is capital N, that is equal to N into L. So we have to remember few things here. Magnetic field along AB, we will be considering it as capital B. Side AD and BC are perpendicular to the magnetic field, and side CD is outside the solenoid, which means outside the solenoid there is no magnetic field. As I told you before, you can see a point Q there. As you go above that, the magnetic field is assumed to be almost zero. So that is why we will be considering CD to be outside the solenoid and magnetic field will be zero at that point. We will be finding out the magnetic field for individual sides of the Amperian loop, and then we will add all together. So this is how we are going to do. The line integral for magnetic field over a closed path ABCD is given as integral B dot dl for the complete loop ABCD is equal to integral B dot dl from A to B, integral B dot dl from B to C, integral B dot dl from C to D, and integral B dot dl from D to A. We will consider that as equation 1. Next, side AB is along the magnetic field. So what happens to B dot dl? B dot dl is B dot dl becomes B dl cos theta. Since the magnetic field is along AB, theta becomes 0. So we will have the equation B dl cos 0, which is equal to B into L, where L is the length of AB. Next, side BC and DA are perpendicular to the magnetic field, which means theta becomes 90 degree. So B dot dl is equal to B dl cos 90 degree. Both of the terms go to 0 because they are perpendicular to the magnetic field. Side CD is outside the solenoid, so there is no magnetic field outside the solenoid. Therefore, we consider that term to be equal to 0. Therefore, our equation 1, that is the magnetic field for the complete loop ABCD, will only have B into L as its right hand side. We will consider that as equation 2. Now, we know the formula for our Ampere's circuital law. Ampere's circuital law states that line integral of magnetic field over a closed loop is equal to mu naught times the total current through the loop. So here, mu naught into total current through the loop ABCD is what we have considered. Let us see. So integral B dot dl for the complete loop ABCD is equal to mu naught into number of turns in that loop ABCD into the current. So equation becomes integral B dot dl for loop ABCD is equal to mu naught into capital N, that is equal to N into L, as we have seen earlier, into current I passing through the solenoid. So we will have integral B dot dl along ABCD is equal to mu naught NLI. Consider this as equation 3. Now we will be comparing equation 2 and 3. Equation 2 we have B into L, and equation 3 we have mu naught NLI. So these two equations, if we equate, we will see that L and L gets cancelled, and what remains is your magnetic field through the solenoid. B is equal to mu naught N into I. This gives the equation for a solenoid carrying current. Next concept we have to know is about toroid. So here goes the definition. The toroid is a hollow circular ring on which large number of turns of a wire are closely wound. It is a solenoid which has bent into a circular shape. So this is a solenoid. If you bend it into a circular shape, it looks like the bottom diagram. So this is your toroid. We will see now how the generation of magnetic field for a toroid takes place. So we have learned that toroid is nothing but a solenoid which is bent into itself in a form of a circular shape. So which means the magnetic field that is present along the axis of the solenoid all will be enclosed inside the toroid as shown in the diagram here. You all can see that all the magnetic field lines are within the toroid. There is no magnetic field lines in the hollow space or outside the toroid. So we will have to derive the equation for magnetic field for a toroid. This will be your diagram which you will be drawing in the exam when you derive the expression for a toroid. Any one diagram you will be looking at. This will be the top view of the toroid that we have taken. So you all can see the into marks and the dots there. That represents the direction of current flow. Wherever there is dot, the current will be coming out of the plane of the paper. Wherever there is into, current is going into the plane of the paper. Apart from this, we have considered three different dotted lines. Okay, first one is inside, that is loop 1. Okay, that is your first Amperian loop that we are considering. Second loop is within the toroid where there is magnetic field. Third loop is outside the toroid, that is loop 3. Okay, so loop 1 is at a radius r1, loop 2 is at a radius r2, loop 3 is at a radius r3. This will be your diagram. 1, 2 and 3, radius r1 for the first loop, radius r2 for the second loop, and radius r3 for the third loop. We'll again begin with small n being the number of turns per unit length of the toroid and I be the current through the toroid. So we have drawn 3 Amperian loops. Amperian loop 1 has radius 1, Amperian loop 2 has radius r2, Amperian loop 3 has radius r3, and that can be drawn in the form of a dotted line. So we will find out the magnetic field for loop 1 separately, loop 2 separately, and loop 3 separately, and add all together to get the total magnetic field of the toroid. So this is how we have written the equation. So integral b dot dl is equal to integral b dot dl for loop 1 plus integral b dot dl for loop 2 plus integral b dot dl for loop 3. Consider that as equation 1. From the diagram we can see that loop 1 and loop 3 are taken in a hollow region and one loop is outside where there is no magnetic field for both loop 1 and loop 3. Therefore, integral b dot dl for loop 1 as well as loop 3 completely goes to 0. The only magnetic field present is within the loop, that is your second loop that you have taken as your Amperian loop. So equation 1 becomes integral b dot dl, that is equal to b dl cos theta, that theta is 0 because it is along the loop. Here integral b dot dl is equal to b integral dl, that is equal to b into 2 pi r2. 2 pi r2 is nothing but the circumference of your toroid in loop 2. We will consider that as equation 2. 2 pi r2 becomes the circumference of the loop 2 wherever the magnetic field is present. So Amperian circuitry law again, b dot dl is equal to mu naught into the current flowing through the loop, total current through the loop. So b dot dl is equal to mu naught into number of turns in the loop into current. So B dot dl is equal to mu naught times n into 2 pi r2 becomes your number of turns in the loop into I is your current. Equation 2 and equation 3, when you compare, you will get B into 2 pi r2 is equal to mu naught into n 2 pi r2 into I. Here 2 pi r2 cancels out, they are same on both sides, so the complete term cancels out. The remaining term becomes your total magnetic field for your toroid, that is B is equal to mu naught n into I. So here, if you compare both these equations, that is for a solenoid and for a toroid, both will be the same. Thank you, students. This is the concepts for both solenoid and toroid.